Is it here?
Say congratulations, Mom.
Congratulations.
Go give Mama a big hug.
Look how cool. Face me. No, hold it like this. I got my diploma and I'm opening it.
Congratulations, you've earned this.
You ready?
Daddy get in the mail?
Look at the pluses. What do you think?
It looks so good, Mom.
Looks good?
Mm-hmm.
Congratulations!
It is my great pleasure to welcome all of the families, the friends, the administrators, the incredible faculty, and most of all, you, our graduates. Welcome, welcome, welcome. We are excited to celebrate with you today.
We will come out of this stronger than when we went in. We've learned so much. We've grown so much. We're still, at the end, focused primarily on students, and everything else is secondary.
Hi, I'm Sean.
And I'm Joanne.
And we're SNHU graduates. I chose SNHU to get a bachelor's and a master's.
I chose SNHU so I could continue my athletic career.
I just received my degree from SNHU.
SNHU was really supportive of my disability and allowed me to stay engaged in my classes while still attending doctor's appointments.
I am Michelle Barnhart and I'm a SNU graduate. As a student, SNHU made me feel like I belonged because they were always there for me whenever I needed them.
Everyone's path is different, but the destination and the dream are the same. To hold that degree and say to the world, I'm a college graduate. I did it.
At Southern New Hampshire University, you aren't just a student. You're the author of your own story. You don't just dream, you do. Where others see challenges, you see opportunities. You persevere in spite of everything life throws at you. When things get hard, you dig deep and find a way to push through. And after tackling late nights and rallying for early mornings, your hard work has finally paid off. And today, we are proud to call you graduates.
Hello, my name is Dr. Jennifer Bachelor, and I'm pleased to welcome you to the first ever Southern New Hampshire University virtual commencement. We are thrilled to be celebrating our graduates with their families, friends, as well as our faculty and staff who are watching from all over the world today. We are so proud of all you've accomplished and are very much looking forward to the opportunity to recognize your academic achievements in person as soon as we can. I would like to now ask everyone, if you are able, to please rise for the singing of our national anthem, sung by Jessica Caldwell, a Director of Academic Advising here at SNHU.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Thank you, Jessica. Welcome everyone to this year's commencement ceremonies. We're broadcasting this ceremony live, though many of you may be watching it later, depending on where you are. We have students from around the globe. Time zones may dictate that you watch this with your family at another time. And you might be sitting wherever you are, thinking, well, this isn't the commencement ceremony we planned on. We've thought that more than once. And you wouldn't be wrong. But I want to recall a conversation I had with Lori Santos from earlier this year. Lori is an amazing faculty member at Yale, and we had a conversation. You'll hear from her later today as our commencement speaker. And we had a conversation earlier this year in which I was asking her about the impact of the pandemic on our students and the toll it was taking. And she said, yeah, it's been tough, but these students may be the most close-knit class that we'll ever produce. That years from now, decades from now, when they meet each other, they will have this bond. They will be the ones who studied and completed and graduated during a pandemic, something that none of us has ever experienced before, and I hope we won't ever again. And she also reminded me that this is a year in which, despite all the suffering, and it was considerable, life also flourished. People fell in love, people proposed, were married, babies were born. Businesses closed, but a lot of businesses started in the midst of this. And people throughout showed amazing kindness and compassion. And against that backdrop, college degrees were completed as well. You finished. And you did so showing resilience and courage and sacrifice, and many with a burden that was much more than could be expected of you. There are frontline workers in this graduating class. There are public health workers in this graduating class, public safety people, medical professionals. You did all that our society asked of you and more, and you also completed your college degree. We stand in awe. So we celebrate today in this virtual way because that's what public health dictates. And we've made a promise to you that as soon as we can safely do so, we'll have a physical commencement ceremony. And I would love to greet you on stage, see you in the audience. But take pride in this accomplishment. Take more pride in this accomplishment, not less. We will brag about you more in the years to come, not less. We will remember you more vividly, not less. You are an amazing class. And don't let distance and virtual space diminish the virtues of this accomplishment. Commencements are important, really important. They are the parade through the city streets when the team has won the championship. But no one confuses the parade for the game. Parades are not the championships. You won that game in the long hours of being a student and writing papers, completing exams. And when you finished your last class, I know you remember that day, the last assignment was handed in and earned your degree, and in that moment you won the championship. You come into this day the champions of your own story and of our hearts, and we are incredibly proud. Let the ceremonies begin. It's my pleasure to introduce this year's commencement speaker, Dr. Lori Santos of Yale University. Lori has received a Doctorate of Humane Letters for her contributions to the social sciences, and more importantly, for her guidance, which has taken on national prominence for how to lead a healthier and happier life. Lori is an incredibly influential figure who's taught us about resiliency, positive psychology, and in a way that doesn't neglect the genuine challenges and suffering in the world, but instead talks about how we build a meaningful and happy life despite, and in some cases, because of what we've been through. Lori is perhaps the most apt speaker we could have for this incredible year that we've just been through together. I'm happy to introduce Dr. Lori Santos.
Hello and good afternoon to everyone watching this 2021 Southern New Hampshire University Commencement Address. To President LeBlanc and all the members of the faculty and staff, to all the honored guests, to the family and friends of everyone at Southern New Hampshire University, and last but definitely not least, to all the graduates here with me today, the Spring 2020, Fall 2020, and Spring 2021 classes. Thank you so much for having me here today. I can't tell you what an honor it is to speak to your commencement class in particular. Simply put, your class is amazing. I'm looking out over this video screen at 45,000 graduates, on-campus and off-campus learners, scholars from all 50 states and more than 50 countries, people from all walks of life who share this love of learning and have come to Southern New Hampshire University to become scholars. I want to take this opportunity to congratulate you for all your accomplishments, big and small, that you've had over the last few years. But I also want to congratulate you on the fact that you've managed to achieve all these accomplishments in one of the most challenging times our country and our world has ever seen. I'm sure that when you signed up to go to college, you didn't think you'd be getting your degree in the middle of a global pandemic. In the last 15 months, all our lives have changed in ways that nobody could have imagined. But in spite of all of those challenges, you're all sitting here today proudly watching this virtual commencement address. You're ready to head off into this new, nearly post-pandemic world with your degree. And that is incredible. You all rock, and you should be really, really proud of yourself. And so when I started thinking about the kinds of things I could say during this virtual commencement address, I wanted to address all the uncertainty and all the difficulty that we've all been facing. But to be totally frank, being a virtual commencement speaker in 2021 is kind of hard, because the usual task of a commencement speaker is to give you some wise and very sure of itself advice, something that you can use for the future. But right now, we're celebrating all of your achievements at a time when the future seems more uncertain than ever. I mean, I am a scientist and a happiness expert, but this is still my first global pandemic. I'm not sure what the next few months or even the next few years hold. And so when I thought what I could tell you during this kind of challenging, strange, uncertain time, I wanted to go back to something that I know will work, something that science tells me is advice that I can be sure of. And so I want to give you a strategy that is known by science to improve not just your physical health, but also your happiness. And that strategy is that I want you to take some time to experience gratitude, the simple act of counting your blessings. Now, feeling grateful right now in such a challenging time can be difficult. It's also a little countercultural. These days, we're more likely to count our hassles than our blessings. But research shows that gratitude can help, especially during difficult times. Grateful people are not only happier, but healthier. They sleep better, and they have stronger immune function. Gratitude can reduce depression and anxiety, and it also can make you more productive. No matter what job you are off to right now, gratitude can make you perform a little bit better. It can also help you with the big things in life, like saving for retirement and eating more healthily. You're less likely to procrastinate if you're feeling grateful, and it's a kind of strategy that can benefit you a lot in the future. And so, in the few minutes I have with you, I wanted to try it. I want you to experience some gratitude. So, bear with me wherever you are. I want you to close your eyes, and I want you to take a minute to just recognize how lucky you are. How lucky you are to come to a place like Southern New Hampshire University. Think about how lucky you feel and how grateful you are. But even more than that, I want you to take a moment to experience gratitude for all the people who've helped you along the way. Because the fact is, none of you've made this journey on your own. This big accomplishment that you're all experiencing right now, it is something that you share with a huge village. Now, I think soon all of you are going to get your diplomas, and when it arrives, you're going to open it up and look at your name there, in big bold letters. But I want you to remember all the names that are also there in invisible ink, the many, many, many other names that have helped you with this accomplishment. And I want you to remember that they're not written on there in an obvious way, but they are there in invisible ink. On your diploma in invisible ink is going to be the name of your mothers and fathers, sisters and brothers, aunties and uncles, cousins, family, friends, grandparents, step-parents, everyone who's been there for you. On that name in invisible ink is going to be countless numbers of friends who've been there for you when you needed them, who've given you advice, who've talked you through the tough times. On there in invisible ink are probably your high school teachers, mentors, coaches, everyone who's been by your side through the long history of learning that you've had. And on that diploma in invisible ink are also going to be generations of people before you who've worked incredibly hard so that one day you could call yourself a college graduate. Now I want you to take a moment to notice how you feel, thinking about how lucky you are, all those names of people who've helped you along the way. That warmth in your chest, maybe some of those almost happy tears you might be shedding right now, that is a genuine feeling of gratitude and connection. It's a feeling that this world has your back. And that's what gratitude can do. It's a performance enhancing drug, and one that's likely to give you lots more happy feelings in the time to come. Class of 2021, I hope you will take this scientific tip to heart. I speak for everyone else who's watching this when I say that so many of your teachers and family members and friends are incredibly proud of you and incredibly grateful that you've now graduated. Congratulations on all your accomplishments, and here's to deeply and intentionally appreciating all that life brings you from here on out. Congratulations, and thank you for having me as your virtual commencement speaker.
President LeBlanc, distinguished guests, faculty, staff and administration, families and friends, it is my honor to present the students who represent the graduates of Southern New Hampshire University's liberal arts programs. The Liberal Arts Department at Southern New Hampshire University's global campus embraces both passion and practicality within our many diverse undergraduate and graduate programs, such as communication, creative writing, digital photography, English, graphic design, history, liberal arts, and general studies. Our mission is to guide our students' exploration of the human experience to enrich their journeys as dynamic global citizens. In doing this, we foster the development of practical skills, leading to success in their chosen professional paths. We cultivate a passionate community that practices respect, collaboration, creativity, leadership, and communication. Regardless of discipline area, a liberal arts education challenges students to expand their minds while encouraging empathy and self-reflection. It promotes objective examination of new ideas and thoughts, and helps incite creativity and the development of critical problem-solving skills. Liberal arts students sharpen their communication skills for different audiences in a variety of contexts and formats. They learn to question assumptions in the search for truth. Emboldened by their liberal arts education, our students have a meaningful impact on their local and global communities, actively imagining and working to bring about a better future. The students honored here today come from many different walks of life and have made many sacrifices to get here. These students know that the key to changing their lives and the lives of their families is education. The majority of our students are working adults with families and jobs. They've studied on nights and weekends while juggling many responsibilities in order to obtain their degree. They endured a pandemic and served as anchors for their families while pursuing their dreams. I'm sure many had doubts about if they would make it here today to this celebration. Through their hard work and dedication, and through the support from their families, friends, and the staff and administration here at Southern New Hampshire University, these students exemplify the best characteristics of perseverance and grit. Let me take a moment to thank the many faculty, deans, advisors, and staff who have contributed to the success of these learners. Your work will have lifelong impact on these lives of these graduates. Thank you. To the students graduating with the program from the liberal arts program areas, we thank you and we congratulate each and every one of you on your success.
At every graduation ceremony, there's one last piece that makes it official. And it's a bit of legal language that I'm required to read. I didn't read it one year when I started at SNHU, so there may be a whole class of people who think they graduated and they may not have, but don't tell them. But you will be taken care of. So here we go. By the authority vested in me by the Board of Trustees of Southern New Hampshire University and by the General Court of the State of New Hampshire, I hereby confer the degrees of Doctor of Education, Doctor of Philosophy, International Master of Business Administration, Master of Business Administration, Master of Education, and Master of Science. The Bachelor of Arts, Bachelor of Applied Science, and Bachelor of Science. Associate in Arts and Associate in Science, with all rights, honors, privileges thereto. Congratulations.
Lori LaChapelle, Bachelor of Arts, magna cum laude. James LaCroix, Bachelor of Arts. Joshua LaCroix, Bachelor of Arts, cum laude. Heather LaFond, Bachelor of Arts, cum laude. Emily LaFrancis, Bachelor of Arts. Stephanie Lakin, Bachelor of Arts, magna cum laude. Elizabeth Lamonda, Bachelor of Arts. Heath Landris, Bachelor of Arts. Olivia Lane, Bachelor of Arts, cum laude. Christopher Langley, Bachelor of Arts. Tristan Lanzarato, Bachelor of Arts, magna cum laude. Joseph Lapadula, Bachelor of Arts, cum laude. Linda LaPlante, Bachelor of Arts, magna cum laude. Samantha Larkey, Bachelor of Arts, magna cum laude. Michael Larissa, Bachelor of Arts, summa cum laude. Siri Larson, Bachelor of Arts, magna cum laude. Danielle Lasecki, Bachelor of Arts. Ravenlyn Lauren, Bachelor of Arts, summa cum laude. Ashley Lawson, Bachelor of Arts, summa cum laude. Christopher Lawson, Bachelor of Arts. Ariel Lazo, Bachelor of Arts. Tiffany Learn, Bachelor of Arts. Stephanie Leeser, Bachelor of Arts. Christina Leatham, Bachelor of Arts, summa cum laude. Arthur Lassess, Bachelor of Arts. Kira LeClaire, Bachelor of Arts. Brenda Lee, Bachelor of Arts, summa cum laude. Elizabeth Lee, Bachelor of Arts. Kirsty Lee, Bachelor of Arts, cum laude. Michael Lee, Bachelor of Arts. Stephanie Lee, Bachelor of Arts, summa cum laude. Elaine LaFave, Bachelor of Arts. Susan Legg Rice, Bachelor of Arts, summa cum laude. Carrie S. Lemieux, Bachelor of Arts. Harry Lamont, Bachelor of Arts. Amy Leonard, Bachelor of Arts, summa cum laude. Luke Leonard, Bachelor of Arts. Jake Leonetti, Bachelor of Arts, summa cum laude. Ellen Leparsky, Bachelor of Arts, cum laude. Nicole Lespinos, Bachelor of Arts, magna cum laude. William Levesque, Bachelor of Arts, magna cum laude. Julia Lewis, Bachelor of Arts, magna cum laude. Michelle Lewis Bellamy, Bachelor of Arts, magna cum laude. Elaine Leong, Bachelor of Arts. Holly Lipovitz, Bachelor of Arts, magna cum laude. Catherine Long, Bachelor of Arts. Michael Long, Bachelor of Arts. Taviana Long, Bachelor of Arts, summa cum laude. Tyler Longnecker, Bachelor of Arts. Brianna Longoria, Bachelor of Arts. Carly Longton, Bachelor of Arts. Jonathan Lopez, Bachelor of Arts. Laura Lopez, Bachelor of Arts. Edgar Lorenzo, Bachelor of Arts, cum laude. Aaron Loveday, Bachelor of Arts, summa cum laude. Dana Lovely, Bachelor of Arts, summa cum laude. Aaron Lowe, Bachelor of Arts, summa cum laude. Abigail Lowe, Bachelor of Arts. Paulette Loynaz, Bachelor of Arts, William Lucas, Bachelor of Arts. Clifford Lumpkin, Bachelor of Arts, summa cum laude. Maribel Luna, Bachelor of Arts. William Lunger, Bachelor of Arts. Zyra Lupidai, Bachelor of Arts. Vince Lusk, Bachelor of Arts, summa cum laude. Casey Luther, Bachelor of Arts. Shernell Lynch, Bachelor of Arts, cum laude. Gabrielma Brooke, Bachelor of Arts, cum laude. Catherine McDonald, Bachelor of Arts, summa cum laude. Jessica Mackin, Bachelor of Arts, cum laude. Anna Machka, Bachelor of Arts. Jennifer Magana, Bachelor of Arts, magna cum laude. William Mahoney, Bachelor of Arts, cum laude. Ingrid Malchak, Bachelor of Arts. Christopher Malkovich, Bachelor of Arts, summa cum laude. Audrey Malone, Bachelor of Arts, summa cum laude. David Manion, Bachelor of Arts, summa cum laude. Rebecca Manley, Bachelor of Arts. Ryan Manning, Bachelor of Arts. Zachary Maraska, Bachelor of Arts. Nicholas Marchetti, Bachelor of Arts. Rebecca Markham, Bachelor of Arts. Lynette Marisette Munson, Bachelor of Arts. Ivana Marshall, Bachelor of Arts. Charlotte Martin, Bachelor of Arts, magna cum laude. Vanessa Martinez, Bachelor of Arts. Alyssa Marteau, Bachelor of Arts, summa cum laude. Alexandra Marianopoulos, Bachelor of Arts, summa cum laude. Haley Mastovich, Bachelor of Arts, magna cum laude. Tracy Mateva, Bachelor of Arts, cum laude. Raphael Matias, Bachelor of Arts, magna cum laude. Louis Matos, Bachelor of Arts. David Madison, Bachelor of Arts, summa cum laude. Miranda Madison, Bachelor of Arts, summa cum laude. Mary Matthews, Bachelor of Arts, summa cum laude. Rudy Mauricio, Bachelor of Arts. Jill Maxey, Bachelor of Arts, summa cum laude. Nicholas Maxwell, Bachelor of Arts. Sadie Mayhew, Bachelor of Arts, summa cum laude. Elizabeth McAdams, Bachelor of Arts, summa cum laude. Larry McBee, Bachelor of Arts. Kelly McCabe, Bachelor of Arts. Antonio McLan, Bachelor of Arts. Peter C. McCormick, Bachelor of Arts. Stephen McCormick, Bachelor of Arts. Douglas McHugh, Bachelor of Arts, cum laude. Angelia McDonald, Bachelor of Arts. Cynthia McDonald, Bachelor of Arts, summa cum laude. Kelly McDonough, Bachelor of Arts, summa cum laude. Aaron McDowell, Bachelor of Arts. Krista McElroy, Bachelor of Arts, summa cum laude. Madison McFarland, Bachelor of Arts, magna cum laude. Amy McGaffey, Bachelor of Arts. April McGurr, Bachelor of Arts, summa cum laude. Karen McGowan, Bachelor of Arts. Emma McKelvey, Bachelor of Arts, magna cum laude. Kayla McKinney, Bachelor of Arts, summa cum laude. Leatrice McKinney, Bachelor of Arts. Sean McLaughlin, Bachelor of Arts. Marvin McLean, Bachelor of Arts, summa cum laude. Kendall Barnett McLeod Jr., Bachelor of Arts. Andriana McNeil, Bachelor of Arts, summa cum laude. Kelsey McNeil, Bachelor of Arts, magna cum laude. Margaret McNellis, Bachelor of Arts, summa cum laude. Paige McOmie, Bachelor of Arts. Gita McPherson, Bachelor of Arts. Ariel McCrae, Bachelor of Arts. Daniel McRedmond, Bachelor of Arts, cum laude. Cassie Mebin, Bachelor of Arts. Whitney Meschling, Bachelor of Arts. Jeremiah Meck, Bachelor of Arts. Michael Medeiros, Bachelor of Arts, cum laude. Aaron Medlock, Bachelor of Arts, summa cum laude. Jordana Medlock, Bachelor of Arts, magna cum laude. Alita Meeker, Bachelor of Arts, summa cum laude. Nathan Melhoff, Bachelor of Arts, cum laude. Keith Meyer, Bachelor of Arts. Jared Melendez, Bachelor of Arts. Sabrina Melendez, Bachelor of Arts, summa cum laude. Barbara Melton, Bachelor of Arts, summa cum laude. Matthew Mercado, Bachelor of Arts. Priscilla Mercado, Bachelor of Arts, summa cum laude. Robin Mercer, Bachelor of Arts, summa summa cum laude. Wendy Mercer, Bachelor of Arts, summa cum laude. Rosa Marino, Bachelor of Arts, summa cum laude. Meredith Merritt, Bachelor of Arts. Aaron Mertes, Bachelor of Arts. Peter Mers, Bachelor of Arts, cum laude. Jessica Michelle, Bachelor of Arts, magna cum laude. Peter Myers, Bachelor of Arts, cum laude. Eric Michael, Bachelor of Arts, summa cum laude. Nicholas Michaels, Bachelor of Arts. Jordan Milano, Bachelor of Arts, magna cum laude. Alexander Miller, Bachelor of Arts, summa cum laude. Allison Miller, Bachelor of Arts, summa cum laude. Amber Miller, Bachelor of Arts, summa cum laude. Clarice Miller, Bachelor of Arts, summa cum laude. Joanna Miller, Bachelor of Arts, cum laude. McKenna Miller, Bachelor of Arts, magna cum laude. Roxanne Miller, Bachelor of Arts. Sarah Miller, Bachelor of Arts, magna cum laude. Michael Miner, Bachelor of Arts, summa cum laude. Diana Mirabella, Bachelor of Arts, cum laude. Jaya Mistry, Bachelor of Arts, summa cum laude. Kunal Mistry, Bachelor of Arts, summa cum laude. Dylan Mitchell, Bachelor of Arts, cum laude. Emily Maville, Bachelor of Arts, magna cum laude. Kim Mohan, Bachelor of Arts. Sergio Mole, Bachelor of Arts, cum laude. Paul Mullen, Bachelor of Arts, summa cum laude. Angela Mollihan, Bachelor of Arts. Lisbeth Menard, Bachelor of Arts, summa cum laude. Winston Monsegue, Bachelor of Arts. Mary Montgomery, Bachelor of Arts, summa cum laude. James Mooney, Bachelor of Arts, summa cum laude. Joshua Moore, Bachelor of Arts. Ryan Moore, Bachelor of Arts, magna cum laude. Tariq Moore, Bachelor of Arts. Alicia Mooring, Bachelor of Arts. Claudia Morales, Bachelor of Arts, cum laude. Mark Morales, Bachelor of Arts, cum laude. Connor Moreau, Bachelor of Arts, summa cum laude. Jennifer Morell, Bachelor of Arts. Kelly Morgan, Bachelor of Arts. Maria Morgan, Bachelor of Arts. Scott Morgan, Bachelor of Arts. Christine Morganelli, Bachelor of Arts, summa cum laude. Marguerite Morgue, Bachelor of Arts. Michael Morin, Bachelor of Arts, summa cum laude. Marziana Morlet, Bachelor of Arts, summa cum laude. Ariana Morris, Bachelor of Arts. Primrose Motzi Nemhara, Bachelor of Arts, summa cum laude. Christine Mulvania, Bachelor of Arts, summa cum laude. Molly Monroe, Bachelor of Arts, cum laude. Eric Murphy, Bachelor of Arts. Sarah Murphy, Bachelor of Arts, summa cum laude. Bonnie Musselman, Bachelor of Arts, summa cum laude. Clarence Myers, Bachelor of Arts. Christian Nagel, Bachelor of Arts. Heather Nail, Bachelor of Arts. Cassandra Nakas, Bachelor of Arts, summa cum laude. Rishi Narula, Bachelor of Arts, summa cum laude. Anthony Natale, Bachelor of Arts. Angela Nader, Bachelor of Arts. Christopher Ney, Bachelor of Arts. Lorraine Neal, Bachelor of Arts, summa cum laude. Miranda Neen, Bachelor of Arts, magna cum laude. Emily Niesner, Bachelor of Arts, summa cum laude. Alexandria Nelson, Bachelor of Arts, cum laude. Steve Nelson, Bachelor of Arts. Wendy Nelson, Bachelor of Arts. Matthew Nesser, Bachelor of Arts. Deborah Newbert, Bachelor of Arts, magna cum laude. Robert Newman, Bachelor of Arts, cum laude. Anna Neubauer, Bachelor of Arts, summa cum laude. Crystal Newman, Bachelor of Arts, summa cum laude. Melissa Nicholas, Bachelor of Arts. Jamie Nichols, Bachelor of Arts. David Nimrichter, Bachelor of Arts. Ralph Nisley, Bachelor of Arts, magna cum laude. McKenna Nobbs, Bachelor of Arts. Taylor Norden, Bachelor of Arts, cum laude. Tricia Nordval, Bachelor of Arts, summa cum laude. Megan Norris, Bachelor of Arts, magna cum laude. Tyler Norton, Bachelor of Arts. Alois Ndaganswa, Bachelor of Arts. Francis Nunziata, Bachelor of Arts, magna cum laude. Felix Neem, Bachelor of Arts, magna cum laude. Alyssa O'Berry, Bachelor of Arts, Rory O'Connor, Bachelor of Arts, summa cum laude. Mary O'Hearn, Bachelor of Arts. Daniel O'Leary, Bachelor of Arts, magna cum laude. Colin O'Neill, Bachelor of Arts. Rory O'Shaughnessy, Bachelor of Arts. Corey Oakes, Bachelor of Arts, summa cum laude. Melissa Ochoa, Bachelor of Arts, summa cum laude. Ryan Oftedal, Bachelor of Arts, summa cum laude. Gina Marie Alexi, Bachelor of Arts, magna cum laude. Veronica Oliva, Bachelor of Arts, summa cum laude. Callie Oliver, Bachelor of Arts, cum laude. Christina Oliver, Bachelor of Arts. Megan Oliver, Bachelor of Arts. Gerard Olson, Bachelor of Arts. Yvonne Olson, Bachelor of Arts, magna cum laude. Babajit Omateo, Bachelor of Arts. Rachel Orange, Bachelor of Arts. Gabriel Oriade, Bachelor of Arts, summa cum laude. Angela Ortner, Bachelor of Arts, summa cum laude. Francis Oru, Bachelor of Arts. Jennifer Overfield, Bachelor of Arts, summa cum laude. Michael Owens, Bachelor of Arts, magna cum laude. Shaka Pac de Flores, Bachelor of Arts. Jennifer Padilla, Bachelor of Arts, summa cum laude. Joshua Palmer, Bachelor of Arts, summa cum laude. Zachary Palmer, Bachelor of Arts. Linda Paolo, Bachelor of Arts. Michaela Parker, Bachelor of Arts, summa cum laude. Rashina Parker, Bachelor of Arts. Ashley Para, Bachelor of Arts. Joshua Parrish, Bachelor of Arts. William Partria, Bachelor of Arts, cum laude. Vincenzo Pasquarella, Bachelor of Arts, cum laude. Philip Passarelli, Bachelor of Arts, summa cum laude. Michael Pastor, Bachelor of Arts, summa cum laude. Alexis Padalin, Bachelor of Arts, cum laude. Milan Patel, Bachelor of Arts, magna cum laude. Angela Paul, Bachelor of Arts, summa cum laude. Norris Paxson, Bachelor of Arts, cum laude. Ashley Payne, Bachelor of Arts. Tiffany Payton, Bachelor of Arts. James Peets, Bachelor of Arts, summa cum laude. Anna Pearson, Bachelor of Arts, cum laude. Roger Pearson, Bachelor of Arts. Molly Peg Rum, Bachelor of Arts, summa cum laude. Andrea Pemberton, Bachelor of Arts. Jonathan Pendergrass, Bachelor of Arts. Destiny Pan, Bachelor of Arts. Sean Perch, Bachelor of Arts, summa cum laude. Amanda Pirelli, Bachelor of Arts. Jean I. Perky, Bachelor of Arts, summa cum laude. Brianna Perkins, Bachelor of Arts, cum laude. Jeremy Perkins, Bachelor of Arts, summa cum laude. Michael Perkins, Bachelor of Arts, cum laude. Shelby Pergola, Bachelor of Arts. Brooke Perot, Bachelor of Arts. Autumn Peters, Bachelor of Arts, summa cum laude. Melissa Petrick, Bachelor of Arts. Caitlin Phelps, Bachelor of Arts, magna cum laude. Kwasi Phillip, Bachelor of Arts, summa cum laude. Corey Phillips, Bachelor of Arts, summa cum laude. John Phillips, Bachelor of Arts, cum laude. Milton Phillips, Bachelor of Arts. Olivia Phillips, Bachelor of Arts, summa cum laude. Shaquana Phoenix, Bachelor of Arts. Jean-Pierre, Bachelor of Arts, summa cum laude. Kelly Pina, Bachelor of Arts, magna cum laude. Jason Piscator, Bachelor of Arts, cum laude. Heidi Pitch, Bachelor of Arts, cum laude. Shane Plant, Bachelor of Arts, magna cum laude. Kaitlyn Ploud, Bachelor of Arts, summa cum laude. Imani Noel Podrodsky, Bachelor of Arts, magna cum laude. Jillian Poisson, Bachelor of Arts. Elisha Poitvian, Bachelor of Arts. Carla Ponder, Bachelor of Arts, magna cum laude. Jules Ponton, Bachelor of Arts, magna cum laude. Julie Poor, Bachelor of Arts, cum laude. Austin Pope, Bachelor of Arts, summa cum laude. Lisa Porep, Bachelor of Arts, summa cum laude. Cole Porras, Bachelor of Arts, summa cum laude. Caitlin Posis, Bachelor of Arts. Michael Potito, Bachelor of Arts. Charlene Powell, Bachelor of Arts. Michelle Power, Bachelor of Arts, summa cum laude. Cindy Prey, Bachelor of Arts, summa cum laude. Allison Price, Bachelor of Arts. Andrew Price, Bachelor of Arts. Kimberly Price, Bachelor of Arts. Sonia Price, Bachelor of Arts. Taylor Pritchett, Bachelor of Arts. Jillian Pruitt, Bachelor of Arts, summa cum laude. Nikki Przydwicki, Bachelor of Arts. Shamira Purifoy, Bachelor of Arts. Frederica Kamar, Bachelor of Arts. Nelda Quezada, Bachelor of Arts. Paul Quickle, Bachelor of Arts. Laura Quigg, Bachelor of Arts, summa cum laude. Kimberly Quintanilla, Bachelor of Arts. James Rackley, Bachelor of Arts. Jessica Raidmaker, Bachelor of Arts. Michelle Radke, Bachelor of Arts, summa cum laude. Amanda Rager, Bachelor of Arts, cum laude. Mijana Rahman, Bachelor of Arts, summa cum laude. Navara Rahman, Bachelor of Arts. Stephen Rainwater, Bachelor of Arts. Kayla Rambaliman, Bachelor of Arts. Alan Ramirez, Bachelor of Arts. Allison Ramirez, Bachelor of Arts, summa cum laude. Araceli Ramirez, Bachelor of Arts, summa cum laude. Brittany Ramirez, Bachelor of Arts, summa cum laude. Brandy Ram, Bachelor of Arts, summa cum laude. Ezekiel Ramos, Bachelor of Arts. Michelle Randolph, Bachelor of Arts, summa cum laude. Mark Ranney, Bachelor of Arts. Jennifer Ransbury, Bachelor of Arts, summa cum laude. Michaela Rapp, Bachelor of Arts, summa cum laude. Jordan Raridon, Bachelor of Arts. Caitlin Rada, Bachelor of Arts. Kelly Ray, Bachelor of Arts. Courtney Raymond, Bachelor of Arts, cum laude. John Reagan, Bachelor of Arts. Samantha Reddick, Bachelor of Arts. Ethan Redman, Bachelor of Arts, magna cum laude. Amber Redmond, Bachelor of Arts. Susan Eileen Reed, Bachelor of Arts, summa cum laude. Alana Reich, Bachelor of Arts, magna cum laude. Abigail Reed, Bachelor of Arts, cum laude. Tracy Riley, Bachelor of Arts, magna cum laude. Kaylee Rennick, Bachelor of Arts, summa cum laude. Stephen Reynolds, Bachelor of Arts, summa cum laude. Madeline Rice, Bachelor of Arts, magna cum laude. Samantha Rice, Bachelor of Arts, cum laude. Jamie Richards, Bachelor of Arts, cum laude. Melissa Richards, Bachelor of Arts, summa cum laude. Stephen Richards, Bachelor of Arts. Nicole Richardson, Bachelor of Arts. Satomi Richardson, Bachelor of Arts, summa cum laude. Lindsay Richmond, Bachelor of Arts. Thomas Rimsa, Bachelor of Arts, summa cum laude. Paul Ringgold, Bachelor of Arts, summa cum laude. Brandy Rink, Bachelor of Arts, summa cum laude. Nemesi Rios, Bachelor of Arts, summa cum laude. Holly Ripley, Bachelor of Arts, cum laude. Kevin Rivera, Bachelor of Arts, summa cum laude. Vanessa Rivera, Bachelor of Arts. Nicole Rickson, Bachelor of Arts, cum laude. Aaron Roberts, Bachelor of Arts, magna cum laude. James Nicholas Roberts IV, Bachelor of Arts, summa cum laude. Tiffany Robertson, Bachelor of Arts. Daniel Robeson, Bachelor of Arts, summa cum laude. Rachel Robillard, Bachelor of Arts. Andrew Robinson, Bachelor of Arts. Erica Robinson, Bachelor of Arts, summa cum laude. Kristen Robles, Bachelor of Arts, cum laude. Felicia Rodriguez, Bachelor of Arts, cum laude. Julian Rodriguez, Bachelor of Arts. Mark Rodriguez, Bachelor of Arts. Reynold Rodriguez, Bachelor of Arts, cum laude. Janine Rodriguez, Bachelor of Arts. Cara Rogers, Bachelor of Arts, summa cum laude. Judah Rowland, Bachelor of Arts. Brendan Rawl, Bachelor of Arts. Lloyd Rawl, Bachelor of Arts. Julie Romanowski, Bachelor of Arts. Kevin Rossamelia, Bachelor of Arts, summa cum laude. Krishna Rose, Bachelor of Arts, summa cum laude. Brian Ross, Bachelor of Arts. Sarah Ross, Bachelor of Arts. Emily Rotolo, Bachelor of Arts. Richard Rausch, Bachelor of Arts. Ashley Roy, Bachelor of Arts. Kendra Royster, Bachelor of Arts. Yenis Rosen, Bachelor of Arts. Megan Ruiz, Bachelor of Arts, summa cum laude. Shelby Rush, Bachelor of Arts. Caprice Dawn, Bachelor of Arts, summa cum laude. Colleen Russell, Bachelor of Arts, magna cum laude. John Rutledge, Bachelor of Arts. Teresa Ryan, Bachelor of Arts, summa cum laude. Jagapreet Sahi, Bachelor of Arts, cum laude. Giselle Salas, Bachelor of Arts. Amy Salazar, Bachelor of Arts, summa cum laude. Carla Salazar, Bachelor of Arts, summa cum laude. Victoria Salinas, Bachelor of Arts, magna cum laude. Courtney Saltalamacchia, Bachelor of Arts, magna cum laude. Nailette Sanchez, Bachelor of Arts, summa cum laude. Marlon Sandifer, Bachelor of Arts, summa cum laude. Tara Sandoval, Bachelor of Arts. Jacob Sangster, Bachelor of Arts, summa cum laude. Thomas Sana, Bachelor of Arts. Antonio Santiago, Bachelor of Arts. Brittany Santiago, Bachelor of Arts, magna cum laude. Aaron Santini, Bachelor of Arts. Jennifer Santos, Bachelor of Arts. George Santos, Bachelor of Arts, magna cum laude. Andrew Sargent, Bachelor of Arts. Christian Schaefer, Bachelor of Arts, summa cum laude. Ethan Skimmler, Bachelor of Arts, magna cum laude. Leslie Schlag, Bachelor of Arts. Stephen Schlatter, Bachelor of Arts. Ryan Schleining, Bachelor of Arts. Erica Schmidt, Bachelor of Arts, cum laude. Jason Schmidt, Bachelor of Arts. Laura Shesau, Bachelor of Arts, magna cum laude. Kayla Schoon, Bachelor of Arts, magna cum laude. Rachel Schroeder, Bachelor of Arts. Danielle Schultz, Bachelor of Arts. Hans Schultz, Bachelor of Arts, magna cum laude. Cassandra Schuster, Bachelor of Arts, summa cum laude. Sean Scott, Bachelor of Arts, summa cum laude. Sean Scutaro Silverstein, Bachelor of Arts. Catherine C. Groves, Bachelor of Arts, summa cum laude. Brent Searight, Bachelor of Arts. Connor Seabrany, Bachelor of Arts. Lisa K. Seacrest, Bachelor of Arts, summa cum laude. Kimberly Seary, Bachelor of Arts. Tracy Sender, Bachelor of Arts, summa cum laude. Shavon Sene, Bachelor of Arts. Cindy Cepeda, Bachelor of Arts, cum laude. Capercia Surgeon, Bachelor of Arts. Cassandra Serrano, Bachelor of Arts, summa cum laude. Jennifer Schaefer, Bachelor of Arts. Alexis Schaefer, Bachelor of Arts, summa cum laude. Jacqueline Shireko, Bachelor of Arts. Katrina Shaw, Bachelor of Arts. Britt Sheber, Bachelor of Arts, summa cum laude. Colin Sheehan, Bachelor of Arts, cum laude. Jessica Sheely, Bachelor of Arts. Tyler Sheely, Bachelor of Arts, cum laude. Evan Shepard, Bachelor of Arts, cum laude. Edward Sheridan, Bachelor of Arts, magna cum laude. Senait Shifra, Bachelor of Arts. Frank Shiflett, Bachelor of Arts, cum laude. Cameron Shirey, Bachelor of Arts. Emily Shirley, Bachelor of Arts, summa cum laude. Dylan Shumate, Bachelor of Arts. Faith Shoemaker, Bachelor of Arts, cum laude. Richard Shoemaker, Bachelor of Arts, summa cum laude. Anastasia Schumann, Bachelor of Arts, summa cum laude. Victoria Shvetsova-Sabin, Bachelor of Arts, summa cum laude. Carrie Siebeneler, Bachelor of Arts, cum laude. Kevin Sigda, Bachelor of Arts, summa cum laude. Tamra Sigler, Bachelor of Arts. Maria Simeone, Bachelor of Arts, magna cum laude. Kelly Simon, Bachelor of Arts, summa cum laude. Gretchen Simpson, Bachelor of Arts. Wendy Simpson, Bachelor of Arts. Christina Sippel, Bachelor of Arts. Stuart Skoglund, Bachelor of Arts. Kimberly Slinney, Bachelor of Arts, magna cum laude. Megan Sloan, Bachelor of Arts, magna cum laude. Roy Sloan, Bachelor of Arts, summa cum laude. Kyle Smalling, Bachelor of Arts, cum laude. Brianna Smith, Bachelor of Arts. Jonathan Smith, Bachelor of Arts, magna cum laude. Joshua Smith, Bachelor of Arts, summa cum laude. Leah Smith, Bachelor of Arts. Miranda Smith, Bachelor of Arts. Melissa Riggall Smith, Bachelor of Arts. Melody Smith, Bachelor of Arts, cum laude. Robert Smith, Bachelor of Arts. Sarah Smith, Bachelor of Arts, summa cum laude. Tisea Smith, Bachelor of Arts, magna cum laude. Victoria Smith, Bachelor of Arts, cum laude. Andrea Snyder, Bachelor of Arts, cum laude. Margaret Snyder Hofling, Bachelor of Arts, cum laude. Eric Sobelman, Bachelor of Arts, magna cum laude. Mary Swallow, Bachelor of Arts. Jonathan Solomon, Bachelor of Arts. Kesha Sunny, Bachelor of Arts. Brittany Sorrell, Bachelor of Arts, summa cum laude. Ivan Soriano, Bachelor of Arts. Olga Sosa Marquez, Bachelor of Arts. Robert Soto, Bachelor of Arts, summa cum laude. Jessica Susi, Bachelor of Arts. Thomas Spagnola, Bachelor of Arts, magna cum laude. Carl Specht, Bachelor of Arts, summa cum laude. Melissa Spooner, Bachelor of Arts, summa cum laude. Cameron Sprague, Bachelor of Arts, summa cum laude. Dawn Sproul, Bachelor of Arts. Stephanie St. John, Bachelor of Arts. Stephanie Stamper, Bachelor of Arts. David Standish, Bachelor of Arts, summa cum laude. Brenda Stanley, Bachelor of Arts, cum laude. Helen Louise Stanley Serrano, Bachelor of Arts, summa cum laude. Robert Starkey, Bachelor of Arts. Stephen Start, Bachelor of Arts, summa cum laude. Jessica Stepanek, Bachelor of Arts, summa cum laude. Kathleen Stevens, Bachelor of Arts, summa cum laude. Pauline Stevens, Bachelor of Arts. Douglas Stewart, Bachelor of Arts. Tina Stewart, Bachelor of Arts, magna cum laude. Jessie Stewart, Bachelor of Arts, summa cum laude. Melody Stewart, Bachelor of Arts, summa cum laude. Tiffany Stewart, Bachelor of Arts. Chelsea Stillwell, Bachelor of Arts, summa cum laude. Abigail Stone, Bachelor of Arts, summa cum laude. Brenda Storch, Bachelor of Arts. Joshua Story, Bachelor of Arts, summa cum laude. Tara Strang, Bachelor of Arts, cum laude. Alyssa Strickland, Bachelor of Arts. Michael Stuenzi, Bachelor of Arts, magna cum laude. Kathy Sturkey, Bachelor of Arts. Jesus Suarez, Bachelor of Arts, cum laude. Brian Swever, Bachelor of Arts. Cleophas Summers, Bachelor of Arts. Glenn Summers, Bachelor of Arts. Kate Sutter, Bachelor of Arts, cum laude. Joseph Swafford, Bachelor of Arts, summa cum laude. Tara Swain, Bachelor of Arts, cum laude. Victoria Swain, Bachelor of Arts. Jeffrey Swayze, Bachelor of Arts, summa cum laude. Sean Sweats, Bachelor of Arts, summa cum laude. Carolyn Swift, Bachelor of Arts, summa cum laude. Summer Swindell, Bachelor of Arts. Angela Swolsky, Bachelor of Arts, summa cum laude. Joshua Tackett, Bachelor of Arts. Tiffany Tadlock, Bachelor of Arts, summa cum laude. Rebecca Tasker, Bachelor of Arts. Lisa Taylor, Bachelor of Arts, cum laude. Robert Teat, Bachelor of Arts, summa cum laude. Chuck Tedesco, Bachelor of Arts, summa cum laude. Brandon Tedford, Bachelor of Arts, summa cum laude. John Terry, Bachelor of Arts, cum laude. Julia Tedders, Bachelor of Arts. Irene Tetz, Bachelor of Arts. Lawrence Thames, Bachelor of Arts. Aaron Thelo, Bachelor of Arts, magna cum laude. Julie Thier, Bachelor of Arts, cum laude. James Thomas, Bachelor of Arts, cum laude. Joshua Thomas, Bachelor of Arts. Mallory Thomas, Bachelor of Arts, summa cum laude. Nissy Thomas, Bachelor of Arts. Vonia Thomas, Bachelor of Arts. Danielle Thompson, Bachelor of Arts. Emma Thompson, Bachelor of Arts. Gamion Thompson, Bachelor of Arts. Jennifer Thompson, Bachelor of Arts, magna cum laude. Shannon Thompson, Bachelor of Arts. Hisham Tisser, Bachelor of Arts. Matthew Joseph, Bachelor of Arts, summa cum laude. Elisha Toller, Bachelor of Arts. Danielle Tonneson, Bachelor of Arts, summa cum laude. Elizabeth Torres, Bachelor of Arts, cum laude. Josem Torres, Bachelor of Arts. Judith Lynn Bubid Torres, Bachelor of Arts. Marlene Torres, Bachelor of Arts. Diana Torres Mosmer, Bachelor of Arts, summa cum laude. Christine Toyazaki, Bachelor of Arts, magna cum laude. Jace Trammell, Bachelor of Arts, summa cum laude. Elizabeth Tran, Bachelor of Arts, magna cum laude. Kristen Trapp, Bachelor of Arts, summa cum laude. Anthony Travaglia, Bachelor of Arts. David Truax, Bachelor of Arts, summa cum laude. Richard Ski, Bachelor of Arts, magna cum laude. Felicitas Tucker, Bachelor of Arts. Becca Turnbull, Bachelor of Arts, magna cum laude. Aaron Turner, Bachelor of Arts, magna cum laude. Gerald Turner, Bachelor of Arts, magna cum laude. Megan Turner, Bachelor of Arts, summa cum laude. Dean Twist, Bachelor of Arts. Kathleen Tayo, Bachelor of Arts. Brandy Uchida, Bachelor of Arts. Reagan Umberger, Bachelor of Arts, cum laude. Rebecca Unger, Bachelor of Arts. Abby Uriste, Bachelor of Arts, magna cum laude. Samantha Arata, Bachelor of Arts, summa cum laude. Megan Utz, Bachelor of Arts. Tracy Van Isle, Bachelor of Arts, cum laude. Sarah Van Wert, Bachelor of Arts, summa cum laude. Ashley Van de Grift, Bachelor of Arts, magna cum laude. Jeremiah Vandernoot, Bachelor of Arts. Lorena Vanderveen, Bachelor of Arts, cum laude. Amanda Van Rees, Bachelor of Arts, summa cum laude. Jamit Vashi, Bachelor of Arts. Caitlin Vasquez, Bachelor of Arts. Robert Vecchio, Bachelor of Arts, magna cum laude. Miguel Vega, Bachelor of Arts, magna cum laude. Samantha Vares, Bachelor of Arts. Morgan Verbeck, Bachelor of Arts, cum laude. Jason Varies, Bachelor of Arts. Adam Burkest, Bachelor of Arts. Sarah Vigil, Bachelor of Arts. Bethany Visoke, Bachelor of Arts. Patrick Vogel, Bachelor of Arts, summa cum laude. Bailey Wagner, Bachelor of Arts, summa cum laude. Brittany Wagner, Bachelor of Arts, summa cum laude. Kristen Waller, Bachelor of Arts. Nicole Wake, Bachelor of Arts. Peter Wackham, Bachelor of Arts, cum laude. Brian Waldschmidt, Bachelor of Arts, magna cum laude. Jonathan Walker, Bachelor of Arts. Tracy Walker, Bachelor of Arts, summa cum laude. Bez Wallace, Bachelor of Arts. Terry Wallace, Bachelor of Arts, magna cum laude. Cody Waller, Bachelor of Arts. Marianne Walsh, Bachelor of Arts. Peggy Walters, Bachelor of Arts. Katie Walls, Bachelor of Arts, summa cum laude. Richard Wanzi, Bachelor of Arts, magna cum laude. Melissa Ward, Bachelor of Arts. Paul Ware, Bachelor of Arts. James Warner, Bachelor of Arts, summa cum laude. Kayla Wassel, Bachelor of Arts, summa cum laude. Amy Watson, Bachelor of Arts, magna cum laude. Loretta Watson, Bachelor of Arts. Fawn Watts, Bachelor of Arts. George Watts, Bachelor of Arts, summa cum laude. Russell Watts, Bachelor of Arts, summa cum laude. Mary Wackerman, Bachelor of Arts, summa cum laude. Dorothy Weaver, Bachelor of Arts. Michael Weaver, Bachelor of Arts, summa cum laude. Amy Webb, Bachelor of Arts, summa cum laude. Kristen Weddle, Bachelor of Arts, summa cum laude. Sam Wedge, Bachelor of Arts, summa cum laude. Sydney Weichman, Bachelor of Arts. Jennifer Weinbaum, Bachelor of Arts, magna cum laude. Sydney Welch, Bachelor of Arts, cum laude. Laurel Wells, Bachelor of Arts. Kensel Wesley, Bachelor of Arts, cum laude. Sarah Westby, Bachelor of Arts. Daniel Westman, Bachelor of Arts, cum laude. Zenobia Westmoreland, Bachelor of Arts. Maya Wyenberg, Bachelor of Arts, summa cum laude. Isreba Wheeler, Bachelor of Arts. Jeremy Wheeler, Bachelor of Arts, magna cum laude. Charles Wetzel, Bachelor of Arts, cum laude. Brian Scott White, Bachelor of Arts, summa cum laude. Chelsea White, Bachelor of Arts, summa cum laude. Haley Whitmire White, Bachelor of Arts, cum laude. Carrie White, Bachelor of Arts. Stephen White, Bachelor of Arts, summa cum laude. Lauren Whitman, Bachelor of Arts. Lauren Webb, Bachelor of Arts, summa cum laude. Zachary Wickline, Bachelor of Arts, summa cum laude. Kristen Weimers, Bachelor of Arts. Alyssa Wilder, Bachelor of Arts, summa cum laude. Angela Williams, Bachelor of Arts. Joseph Williams, Bachelor of Arts. Kimberly Williams, Bachelor of Arts. Michael Williams, Bachelor of Arts. Sharita Williams, Bachelor of Arts. Tom Brawl Williams, Bachelor of Arts. David Williford, Bachelor of Arts, summa cum laude. Daniel Willis, Bachelor of Arts, summa cum laude. Shadow Wills, Bachelor of Arts, magna cum laude. Shannon Weinbrenner, Bachelor of Arts, summa cum laude. Nathaniel Winstead, Bachelor of Arts. Cynthia Winston, Bachelor of Arts. Steve Wolf, Bachelor of Arts. Michael Wolf, Bachelor of Arts, cum laude. Miranda Wolf, Bachelor of Arts, magna cum laude. Kristen Wolfson, Bachelor of Arts. Victor Wongwajarakot, Bachelor of Arts, summa cum laude. Andrew Wood, Bachelor of Arts, cum laude. Lucas Wooden, Bachelor of Arts, summa cum laude. Allison Woods, Bachelor of Arts, summa cum laude. Amy Woods, Bachelor of Arts, magna cum laude. Tori Woods, Bachelor of Arts, magna cum laude. Lucy Woodward, Bachelor of Arts, summa cum laude. Yolanda Woody, Bachelor of Arts, magna cum laude. Julie Wolfe, Bachelor of Arts. Kyle Woonton, Bachelor of Arts, summa cum laude. Nicholas Wardens, Bachelor of Arts, cum laude. Olivia Worthen, Bachelor of Arts, summa cum laude. Catherine Wozniak, Bachelor of Arts, summa cum laude. Jasmine Wright, Bachelor of Arts. Ashley Wyatt, Bachelor of Arts. Karima Wyatt, Bachelor of Arts. Anna Wynn, Bachelor of Arts. Exona Jambazi, Bachelor of Arts, summa cum laude. Hales Johannes, Bachelor of Arts, summa cum laude. Christopher York, Bachelor of Arts. Zachary Young, Bachelor of Arts. Brandon Youngberg, Bachelor of Arts, magna cum laude. Candace Zablon, Bachelor of Arts, summa cum laude. Frank Zagarella, Bachelor of Arts, summa cum laude. Aaron Zoller, Bachelor of Arts, summa cum laude. Safraz Zanol, Bachelor of Arts. Deborah Zieber, Bachelor of Arts. Alexandra Zeller, Bachelor of Arts, summa cum laude. Leo Zemical, Bachelor of Arts, summa cum laude. Laura Zarillo, Bachelor of Arts, magna cum laude. Christina Zuschlag, Bachelor of Arts, cum laude.
Congratulations to the newest graduates of Southern New Hampshire University. On behalf of the Alumni Board of Directors, I am honored to officially welcome you into the SNHU Alumni Association. Today, more than 156,000 SNHU alumni around the world congratulate you on your success and hope you will be an active part of our global SNHU community. At this time, if you are one of our learners who has earned an associate's or bachelor's degree, I invite you to participate in the ceremonial tradition of moving your tassel from the right side of your cap to the left. As you go forth today, always remember the university's motto, Summa Optimaque. In English, the greatest and the best. And indeed, you are. Congratulations again.